Was the meeting posted?
Yes. Commission will now take up matters to do with special one-day license applications for all alcoholic beverages. First applicant is John Vitorino for Saturday, July 16th, 2011, from 12 noon to 6 p.m. It's a members' picnic of the Portuguese American Civic League. It will be in an enclosed parking lot adjacent to the premises of the club at 512 Central. Also, Fernando Souza of the Holy Ghost Society for events at Holy Ghost Park, 65 Village Street, starting with Holy Ghost Sunday, June 12th, from 12 noon to 11 p.m. Holy Trinity Saturday for June 18th, from 2 p.m. to 12 midnight. Holy Trinity Sunday for June 19th, from 12 noon to 12 midnight. St. John Feast for Friday, June 24th, from 4 p.m. to 11 p.m. Also the St. John Feast for Saturday, June 25th, from 4 p.m. to 1 a.m. And the St. John Feast for Sunday, June 26th, from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. Also at the Holy Ghost Park will be a wedding reception for Saturday, July 2nd, from 5 p.m. to 2 a.m. A Suite 15 reception for Saturday, July 9th, from 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. A fundraiser for a bike run to combat leukemia for Saturday, July 16th, from 3 p.m. to 1 a.m. And last is a wedding also for Saturday, July 30th, from 4 p.m. to 1 a.m. There have been issues in the past. I mean, you can certainly question this situation, and it's the summertime is a lot different than
Absolutely.
It is wintertime.
Yeah.
Please introduce yourself for the record.
Yes, my name is John Vitorino. I'm the manager of the Portuguese American Civic League.
Okay.
Fernando Souza for the president of the Holy Ghost Society.
Okay. And I'm assuming you've both been here before and had the speech?
Yes.
Okay. You had a question?
No, I just had a question about the 2 a.m. on July 2nd. Fernando?
Yes, for the wedding reception.
Yeah, how many licenses have we been giving till 2 a.m. to you?
You gave us so far, I believe, 5.
Okay. And we haven't had any issues?
No, not while I was there.
And are you gonna get, is it gonna be all indoors?
Yes, the July 2nd is all indoors.
It's all indoors?
Everything else outdoors will be moved inside at 9:45 p.m.
At what time?
9:45 p.m.
9:45 p.m.? Great. All right, I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second. Motion made and seconded. All in favor, say yes.
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 Thank you.
All right, thank you. Good luck.
guys.
Commission will now take up applications for special event permits for amplification of sound. The Lowell Highlands Neighborhood Group, it should be Lower Highlands, I believe. Taya Dixon Mullane for We Got the Power for Saturday, June 25th, 2011. Request also a rain date for Sunday, June 26th. The hours would be 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. A sound system for disc jockey live performance at the Armory Park on Westford Street. City of Lowell, Christopher Samaras, representative for the July 4th fireworks show at the Heritage Sampras Pavilion on Pawtucket Boulevard for Monday, July 4th, with a rain date request for Wednesday, July 6th. Also, the Holy Ghost Society, Holy Ghost Park at 65 Village Street. Fernando Souza is the director. There are 6 dates for amplification permits, starting with Sunday, June 12th, from 12 noon to 10 p.m. on the outdoor grounds of the Holy Ghost Park. Saturday, June 18th, from 2 p.m. to 12 midnight. Sunday, June 19th, from 12 noon to 10 p.m. Friday, June 24th, from 4 p.m. to 11 p.m. Saturday, June 25th, from 4 p.m. to 12 midnight. And Sunday, June 26th, from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Also, for events at the Songus Center, Kyle Schwartz, Special Events Manager, the Songus Center Backyard Music Series. There are 6 dates, starting with June 30th, July 14th, July 21st, August 4th, August 11th, and August 28th. It's scheduled to have hours from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. for each of those dates. Also, the Portuguese American Civic League, John S. Vitorino, manager, the all-alcoholic beverage club licensee at 512 Central Street for a members picnic for Saturday, July 16th, from 12 noon to 6 p.m. The parking lot of the club at 512 Central Street, sound system for disc jockey. Also, Mambo Grill Inc., Frankie Dakota president, for premises at 129 Merrimack Street. This would be pertaining to the Folk Festival weekend, starting July 29th through the 31st, and this would be an outdoor area that would be enclosed. Is John Marciano here? Okay. That should do it.
Please step up to the microphone and introduce yourself.
My name is John Vitorino, manager of the Portuguese American Civic League.
Okay,
Fernando Sousa from the Holy Ghost Society.
okay.
Taya Dixon Mullane, Lower Highlands Neighborhood Group.
Chris Samara, City of Lowell.
Kyle Swartz, event manager at Songus.
Frankie Dakota, Mabu Grill.
We're here for...
First, I guess, the Holy Ghost Society, every year we go through the exercise, but it's becoming summer now. You know there are going to be complaints, so do your best to keep that sound in. I think you guys have done a wonderful job the past couple of years keeping the noise down, so continue that this summer.
Absolutely.
And then with the Songus Arena, just know that there are neighbors in the back that tend to complain, so Commissioner Bayless says it's a common sense license, so don't have it blasting so you can hear it in Centerville, all right? And the Mambo Grill, you guys do it every year, but the Folk Festival takes precedence, and then your stage, so. I'll make a motion to approve, unless we have anything.
No, you summed it up. I'll second. Motion made and seconded. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Yes. Good luck.
Commission will now take up applications for sidewalk stand permits for seasonal permit applications. This will be actually April through October of 2011. Applicants are Lowell Exchange, Inc., Christopher McCarthy is the president. This is the Lowell Jewelry and Loan location at 24 Merrimack Street. Giovanni's, Greg Harding, manager, for premises at 134 Merrimack Street. And Humanities Retail Store, Frankie Dakota, president, for 128 Merrimack Street.
Frankie Dakota, Humanity.
Christopher McCarthy, Lowell Jewelry and Loan.
Greg Harding, Giovanni's Trends.
Okay, well, I think it's great that you guys are doing outdoors sales. Let me ask, Mr. McCarthy, with the exchange, how are you going to handle the security aspect of that?
It would be all low-dollar items, have a person out there actually sitting there watching,
Okay, but you wouldn't be doing any intake outside, would you?
No.
Okay.
just retail.
No, I think it's great that you guys are having the sidewalk stands. I think it brings a little life to the downtown area, and I hope more businesses do it. With that, I'll make a motion to approve.
And I'll second. Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Yes.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks. Oh, yeah? All right.
Okay, in respect to applications for public amusement, interestingly, the two applicants, one would be for an event at the auditorium. This morning I received a call from one of their managers, and I was told that the event itself, the promoter had canceled its interest in using the auditorium for June 17th. So the request was to withdraw the application. The space at 150 Western Avenue, the request for the public amusement license late yesterday afternoon, the manager, Robert Nister, called and asked that his request could be postponed till the next regular meeting, which is for June 23rd. So,
Okay.
Moving on.
okay. All right, so that's that. On the Super Bowl, the manager gave me another copy of his take on the situation.
Did you get it?
Yeah. I think that's,
This is
I
it, right?
think I emailed that to you.
You did,
copy
yeah.
of it. So he just gave it to me now. Commission will now open a hearing on the allegation of misconduct as charged by the Superintendent of Police, Kenneth LaValle, against Yun Long, Inc., doing business as Super Bowl Restaurant and Pub at 1733 Middlesex Street, for violation of the License Commission order that the licensee is not to serve, sell, or allow consumption of alcohol beverages after a decrease of the hours of operation, which had been ordered for the period April 14th through the 27th, 2011.
Please step up to the microphone, introduce yourself.
My name is Hong Pham. I'm a Super Bowl owner.
Peter Pham, manager.
Okay. Would you like to start?
On April 16th of this year, at approximately midnight, Captain McPadden and Officers Collins and Bernard were in the area of the Super Bowl restaurant at 1733 Middlesex Street. The officers observed that there was still a lot of activity taking place in the restaurant, and at 12:05 a.m., Captain McPadden entered the restaurant with the officers, being aware of the rollback in hours that had been imposed by the License Commission 2 days earlier on the 14th. At that time, the captain and the officers found more than a dozen patrons with alcoholic beverages in hand and paying bar tabs. Captain McPadden is here if you'd like to hear from him.
Sure, why don't we just hear from you?
Good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon. Why don't you tell us, what you observed and what the timelines were?
That evening I was assigned to the bar check detail, and it's an assignment where I check on detail officers at bars and also problem bars that are on our radar screen. Having received an email 2 days earlier that the Super Bowl was ordered to close at midnight, and being aware from a personal experience that there's been fights there, I went to that area at midnight to find out if in fact they had closed. When I got there, I saw that just after midnight, there were still patrons in the bar, standing at the bar, holding alcoholic beverages in their hands. Unrelated to my assignment was Officer Collins and Bernard parked across the street waiting for the establishment to close as well. I brought them over with me when we went inside, removed all the patrons. I had a conversation with the owner about his failure to have everybody out by midnight. His explanation was that he tried, but nobody would leave.
And let me just ask, and trying to preempt some of the stuff we're gonna hear, but what was like, can you describe the crowd age-wise?
Everybody appeared to be of age. It was probably a 20s age crowd.
Okay.
And you observed them, well, it says in your report that you were stationed outside at about 5 of...
This is actually not my report. This is
Officer
Officer
Collins'
Collins' report. Those were his observations.
Okay.
And is Officer Collins here?
He's not here today.
Okay. I would want to ask, there was one thing that I saw, and
He did relay
in
his
report.
observations to me, though.
Okay. In his report, he indicated that some of the patrons were still paying off their tabs at the time when you
Correct.
guys entered? Okay. Any
No,
questions?
I don't have any questions, no. Not to the officer.
Okay.
no.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just gonna come right out. I think you guys need to close down. I mean, this is just, it's just going on too far. You would just, I know you're gonna come up with some great story about how it was just people that were working there, but if you read the police officer's report, he has no reason to fabricate what was going on. At 5 of 12, here or there, they see the strobe lights still going on inside the establishment.
We're
No,
not
let me
denying
finish.
it.
I didn't ask you any questions, did I?
I'm sorry.
Let me finish, and then you can speak, okay? He noticed strobe lights going off. Okay? Then he sees people at about 2 of 12 coming out of the building. Well, that cannot happen. You were supposed to be closed at midnight. And at 2 of 12, you got streams of people coming out. Then at 12:05, they go inside, they see 15 people still holding alcoholic beverages. Whether employees or not, they shouldn't have had the beverages in their possession. I am fed up with the way that you have run your establishment. You did one good thing. In the last year, you helped the police with a guy who had a gun. But other than that, you've been nothing but a problem, and you're becoming a problem to the city and to the community. And I just think that you're not getting it. And I thought the rollback would make you get it, and you're just not getting it. That's how I feel.
Look, I've read what you've submitted, and please explain to me why the doors were still unlocked and open after midnight when you guys were supposed to be closed.
There were still people in there. I do not deny that fact. The officers were correct. But they're friends of the family, and I know that you may not believe that, but I can call all of them up right now. I can get a more detailed report if I was given more time. But we're just all waiting for the family to leave so that we could go out and eat. As you can see in the report, it was my mother's birthday, and the day before, we didn't receive a favorable outcome from the hearing, and it was very short notice, so we tried to do something to make her feel better, but it's as you see it. We tried to make sure that it wouldn't happen again. After we received that, we just closed up for the next week. We really don't want to get in any more trouble than we are.
I mean, I get the point where you're telling me that it was your mother's birthday, and I did see the driver's license with the birth date on it. But my question is this: if it was a birthday party...
It's not a birthday party, no. They were just gathering there so they could take us out. There were no balloons, there was no cake, nothing was there. The event that we had scheduled for the night was canceled. As you can see from the report, there's only about 40 people we had the whole night on a Friday night, which is supposed to be our busiest night. So we did take action to reduce the people who came in and left.
But there were still people closing out bar tabs after midnight.
But we were not serving them alcohol. I mean, if someone tells me, oh yeah, those 2 drinks were on that person, I have to go find that person and then tell that person, oh yeah, that guy doesn't want to pay for those 2 drinks. So it was a little bit of figuring out, which took some time, about who owed what. And
I just feel like there's always an excuse with these guys. So I'm going to make a motion that we suspend your license for 14 days.
I gotta tell you, it feels like it's almost a slap in the face. You're in here, and the next day,
I understand.
you're busted.
We tried our best. We tried to tell our customers, but when it comes down to paying the bills and stuff, and we tried to get them out, we can't exactly say, come back tomorrow. Some of them we don't know.
So the planning and management for how to close at midnight wasn't there in advance? Is that what you're
It was
telling me?
there in advance. We did close at 11:30 for the bar. You know, the charges being brought up is whether or not we served alcohol to them and whether or not they consumed it. And, you know, I have a
Accepted.
lot of people saying that I didn't serve them alcohol.
Where are they?
I can bring them, but they're all at the beach.
But they're not, they're at the beach.
Today kind of would have been the day to bring them. You know, the day of the hearing.
If you need me to get like a personal statement from each and one of them, I can do that.
I just feel like if you had the time to get all, you know, this together and submitted, you had time to talk to these people or get them here or get their statements or get something from them. I mean, I see where they all signed off saying that you had every intention of closing at the required time, but the bottom line is you didn't.
I understand there were people still in there, but you know, they were not being served alcohol. They were just waiting. You can't not wait. I mean, it's not like you were going in there and there's like 100 people still in there, still partying. You know.
Should have been no people, though. That's the thing. There should have been no one.
I understand there should have been
Right.
no people.
Okay.
And I'm not sure if it even matters if I bring some people in because I don't know if
Are you
adding
on,
one
are
or
you
two
on
more
probation right now?
witnesses- I don't remember. I think I am.
I'm going to make a motion again that there's a 14-day closure. Do I have a second?
You do. Motion made and seconded. All in favor, say yes.
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 Can I choose when I get suspended,
No. Tonight.
or is it immediately?
Today. Or, well, we have to give them the appeal period, don't we? Yeah.
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 What's the time delay for appeal? What's the time within which they can appeal?
The appeal period?
Well, yeah, any licensee subject to a suspension, revocation has, within 5 days upon receipt of that decision, to file an appeal with the Alcohol Beverages Control Commission.
Give them that decision in writing.
Yeah, it has to be in writing, and let's say I can have the decision written up by tomorrow, be
July
mailed
1st through
out.
July
If it's
14th.
mailed out, he receives it.
Okay. I'll make, we vote on that, but the suspension period will be July 1st through July 14th.
I'll second that. You have your rights of appeal. Well, motion made and seconded. All in favor? Yes?
Yes.
All right. You have your period within which you can file an appeal to the ABCC if you don't believe our decision has been fair, but you're being given advance notice. You've got time. If you're open July 1st through 14th, you can't tell me you didn't have time to plan and close.
We're gonna go on vacation, probably go to the beach or something.
Well,
So,
That's,
I
that's
guess,
fine.
yeah.
now, if he wants to request a stay, if he files his appeal, will he be allowed to stay? Because it won't be scheduled for several months.
When is our July?
If he files the appeal with the ABC, would that be sufficient cause for him to stay the?
Well, he'll have to, we'll know before, we can deal with that on the 23rd, right?
That was going to be my suggestion, is that
Okay,
the
so
commission
that's
take that up on the
23rd.
20th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take it up on the 23rd then if it comes in?
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so July 1st to 14, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And let me just, I'm being perfectly clear right now, okay? Anything else, the license is gone. Okay? You had 2 strikes and you just fouled one off, all right? Next one, you're out, okay?
Commission will now open up a hearing on the allegations of misconduct as charged by Kenneth E. LaValle, Superintendent of Police, against the licensee known as Voices Entertainment Group, Inc., doing business as Voices Rock Club at 731 Lakeview Avenue, violation of state law allegedly for Mass General Law, Chapter 138, Section 63A, hindering or delaying investigator, inspector, or agent of licensing authority. Also, violation of local regulation. B, prohibiting the presence of patrons after legal closing. That is to say, the licensee was alleged to have allowed patrons on the premises after legal closing, which is prohibited by the licensing board's regulation. Also, patrons consuming alcohol beverages after legal closing, which is also a local regulation not permitting such activity.
Please introduce yourself for the record.
My name's Gary Gauthier, president and owner of Voices Rock Club.
Daniel Steinberg, I was the bartender.
Okay. Do you want to start?
On April 15th, at approximately 2:10 a.m., Officer McCabe was on patrol on Lakeview Ave. At that time, he dispersed a group loitering in front of Voices Rock Club at 731 Lakeview Ave. While he was moving the group along, he looked through the window into the bar, and he could see 3 people at the bar, and 2 of those people were drinking from bottles. Officer McCabe entered the bar at 2:12 a.m. and found 2 people drinking from Budweiser bottles. The bartender was Mr. Steinberg. He told the officer that he had lost track of the time. When the officer informed Mr. Steinberg that he would be filing a report, Mr. Steinberg asked the officer if he knew several police officers and firefighters, told the officer that his boss probably knew the officer's boss, and Officer McCabe felt that this was an attempt to influence him not to file his report. Officer McCabe is here if you'd like to hear from him.
Yeah. Officer McCabe, why don't you come on up and...
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Why don't you tell us... All right, when you went inside, what happened?
Well, after I sent the people on their way outside, I could see through the front door there was 3 people in the bar, 2 seated at the bar drinking from red Budweiser aluminum bottles. I entered the bar, they swigged them, put them down and beat feet out, and that's when I approached the bartender and explained my reasoning for being in the bar, and I informed him that a report would be filed, given that the bar was supposed to close 10-15 minutes earlier.
I have no questions. Mr. Gauthier, what do you want to say?
I wasn't there that night, obviously. It's not our procedure to do this type of thing. I'd like to first apologize for the comments that were made. I have no, I understand everything flows downhill, and I take this very seriously. I understand it's not a joke. As far as the comment that was made, I have no control over what my bartenders say. I do, however, have control over how they handle the bar and the operation of the bar. We did let him go for 30 days. We suspended him. I never had a problem before. I haven't had a problem after. It was an unfortunate incident. I understand it's very serious. I don't take, we closed 10 minutes earlier now, therefore we used to do last call at 1:40, now it's 1:30. And we haven't had, relatively any major problems since then. So I just ask, again, I'd just like to apologize publicly, and that's why I brought Mr. Steinberg with me as well, because we discussed it amongst ourselves, and we just felt, the comments were probably not warranted because I don't know anybody and I don't claim to know anybody. I don't have any empowerment over anyone. So I apologize to the Lowell License Commission, the officer at hand. That's all.
I mean, you understand that
Absolutely.
the former business that was located there was a big source of trouble for the community.
I owned the building then. I was the landlord per se, and I understand everything that's going on. That's why the seriousness of it is, it's warranted, but I understand and I'm not taking it lightly.
How long have you had the license there?
Just over a year, I believe. We opened in May, I believe, of last
You
year.
haven't had any issues?
No, there was a couple of minor scraps, nothing major.
But this is the first time you've been in front of us?
Absolutely, yes, sir.
I mean, I think Dan comes from a well-known Lowell family, so I'm sure he does know a lot of the officers, but that's probably not the best way to go about it. You just say, "I'm sorry, officer, it won't happen again." And I think that's what you did by coming here today and apologizing, and it seems like you've taken steps to rectify the situation. So I'd make a motion that we just put this complaint on file.
Yeah. I'll second the motion. I think the steps you've taken in terms of disciplining the employee show us that you're at least taking it seriously.
Absolutely.
We haven't had any problems with you until this, and hopefully,
Absolutely, I
we're
agree.
never going to see you again until you're transferring the license because you've sold it, and it's the biggest and most important thing going on in that neighborhood.
Right.
So,
Well, we've done, some upgrades, you've seen the building, we're
Yeah, it
we're
looks
trying.
good.
It's
does.
tough business, as we all know.
All right, motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, officer.
I think it wasn't. Pretty good.
The superintendent of police has filed 4 letters of complaint alleging illegalities on licensees, starting with Jay's Beer and Wine, Inc., malt beverage and wine only, package store licensee at 168 Gorham Street. Also, Lucky Bee, Inc., doing business as Pete's Exxon, a malt beverage and wine only, package store licensee at 185 Woburn Street. D&Y Corp., doing business as Jerry's Food Store, number 2, a malt beverage and wine only, package store licensee at 207 University Avenue. And last is the Middle Street Village, Inc., doing business as the Village Smokehouse, the all-alcoholic beverage restaurant licensee at 9298 Middle Street. Just for the board's sake, information, the first 3 are off-premise licensees, so their hours of operation as far as, they don't need to be given their 14-day notice in advance. You should consider decreasing their hours, just for your scheduling.
All right. So I would make a motion then that we bring in the first 3, that's Jay's Beer and Wine, Inc., Lucky Bee, Inc., and D&Y Corp. Schedule it for our next meeting of June 23rd.
23rd.
And put the Middle Street Village, Inc. on for July 7th with notice of potential rollback of hours.
Yeah.
A second.
Second that, yeah.
All right, motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And also, just for board's information, for their request for their ratification, on or about June 3rd, I received a call from representative for Lindsay's Catering, where they initially had filed an application for a special one-day beer and wine license for an event at Shed Park Fieldhouse. Originally was scheduled for June the 3rd. That license was approved by this commission for May 12th. However, on June 3rd, Ms. Joyce of the Lindsay's Catering called me and said that the organizing committee apparently had given them misinformed them on the proper date for their event. So it was not Friday, but Saturday the following day. So with the board's...
Make a motion to ratify.
I'll second.
I changed that.
All in favor? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so that's all.
That's it. And public notice of Folk Festival coming up?
Yeah, if there's anyone who's interested in scheduling some type of sidewalk stand activity for the Folk Festival weekend, certainly they should file their application as soon as possible, within the next week to 10 days, so we can schedule them for an upcoming meeting of the License Commission.
And if they don't file by July 18th, they're not going to be on the agenda for July 21st.
Right.
Which means no outside licenses, et cetera, for July 29th, 30th, and 31st. And so,
Unless somebody changes the open meeting law.
yeah. And so, if you're watching, get them in.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second. Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Yes.
Yes. I guess, Gumper's already home, isn't he?
Yeah.